Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Comicsgate Commandos. Welcome all. I'm gonna bring on my co-host here, Colonel Carbon Hart. Howdy, Carbon. How you doing?
Hail Commandos.
Yes, sir. It's a good day. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring on our special guest for this evening, Hojo. What's going on, Hojo?
What's up, brother?
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you finally. I've seen you on Twitter.
Meet you, yeah.
What's up, Hojo?
What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Very exciting to have you on. Congratulations on a very successful opening to the campaign for Mythicals 3.
Yeah.
That was like,
what was it? To hear that.
Within an hour? Did you get...
No, I think the next day.
Okay.
Yeah. I set a higher funding goal this time. Funded within an hour last campaign, but, just try to set the bar a little higher this time. And, we got it.
There you go, dude. Congratulations. Mr. Self-Destruct says, by the way, PQ, your idea about streaming half naked and submerged in a murky pool with a knife in your teeth sounds like a really good way to grow the channel. Oh, yeah. I completely forgot that I mentioned that. Okay. It's funny how that works. Yeah. Let's say hello to the chat here. We've got Frederick Gouman. Frederick, you have now been promoted. You were a private. Now you are something higher than private.
PFC.
There we go. That sounds great. You're a PFC now. Mr. Self-Destruct. I consider Mr. Self-Destruct a gunnery sergeant, personally. He's that kind of attitude. You know what I mean?
That's AMP right there.
Yeah. Then we have, of course, we have Hojo. What's up, man? And then we have Dekar. He's listening while doing dishes. Thanks, man. Thanks for showing up. And a few lurkers, apparently, in the chat.
Always. I lurk in a lot of chats, man. You wouldn't believe the chats I lurk in. I never say anything. I just listen.
Mm-hmm.
I understand Hojo is an actual veteran, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Of what, Marines?
United States Army. Cool.
Nice.
So.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, September 12th will be. I joined 23 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, the day after 9/11.
Yeah. I was about to say it's September 12th. That's crazy.
Oh.
Let me bring on our medic, just in case something happens to somebody. We've got Dr. Ben here to take care of people. What is that picture?
It's an elephant.
Well, I know it's an elephant, but why are people on it?
You've never ridden an elephant?
Yeah, so they can ride it, so they can get from here to there.
Who knows what antics Dr. Ben is up to tonight?
You never know, dude. Well, without further ado, let's get to the chase here. I want to share your campaign here, and then if you'd like to talk about it for a bit, do you want to share so you can scroll through it on your screen, or would you rather I scroll through it?
It don't matter. I can keep it to your pace. You already got it up there, so just scroll on down, baby.
Well, let me show the
trailer.
Yeah. Good.
The hit indie horror comic returns this August.
Very nice.
Last August, I guess. I gotta swap that one out. I've been so busy, man. Like today, I'm sorry I'm late. My wife saved me. She said, "Don't you got to stream?" I was like, "That's not until 10 o'clock." She's like, "Nope."
Oh, it's okay, dude. It happens all the time.
So if you're new to the franchise, it's a horror action mystery set in the vein, kind of a cross between, if you went the 3-second pitch, like a cross between, it's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets like Wildcats with like a little X-Files conspiracy. It's like the next evolution of ideas like Warehouse 13 and stuff like that. And so Nancy Moon gets recruited by this covert task force comprised of creatures from myth and legend, and turns out they've been doing this a long time, but in the shadows. And issue 1, she gets recruited, finds out that they were tailing her the whole time. She's got these little plant-based magic powers, and those evolve into elemental things. And issue 2 was her coming to work. It's kind of like Men in Black. The first act is him finding out aliens are real. And then he gets to work, and he was like, "You ain't seen nothing slick." That was issue 2. Like you come to this whole place underneath Washington D.C. run by all these monsters doing this cool shit. And so issue 3, we have everybody under one roof. We put the villain of the first 2 issues kind of on the back burner for a little bit. He's coming back. Don't worry. Obviously, if you read issue 2, you know he'll be back because he's got something. So we introduce a new villain. So this is where we get to be a day in the life of Level M, which is like, boom, first page, we got a dead body. Obviously, a little supernatural occurrences there. They have a little dialogue between our resident vampire and our magician here. And so then we flash back to how we got here. You know, the famous police procedural, you know, dead body. And then earlier that
dead
day,
body like a vampire?
No.
Like I wasn't sure from like the picture if it was like okay. It's just like
looks like a liberal.
Looks like she's been watching too much CNN.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, very cool. Very cool. I really got the X-Files vibes when I picked up I have them both right here actually.
Yeah, and so in this one we get to really play off of that and flesh a lot of things out and get to introduce, like, in my world, how magic works. Like, it's not as easy as she thinks it is.
Very awesome. And here we've got folks on the side here. We've got all the options, the different options you can do here.
Yeah, you can get all caught up. We got a catch-up box where it's unique with Fundmycomic, to where I can set these drop-down menus and you can pick what you want, and I don't have to make a separate tier for every single little combination. You're in the driver's seat, so you like whatever copy of issue 2 you want, or issue 3. I'm bundling that with the sketch cover of issue 1 and the full color version reprint with the flip cover, with the Peter Gilmore on the one side and Nancy on the other side. And the team. And then you get it in this nice little wraparound cover box, and then a metal print, standees, a print collection. Man, it's one of the best values out there, if not the best value out there. Like, if you're new and you just want that little bit extra. And then if you're a returning backer, a lot of you are, $10, man. I took $3 off the top and gave you 2 extra pages of story. I mean, what?
How much was the last one again? How much was number
13? It was $13, and you get 26 pages.
Dude, amazing.
Yep. Still, I think it's overpriced. You know, I'm trying to wedge into there and get a little competitive with the prices to where you can't not buy it, you know? So you have to, like, if you're new as well, you can just get all 3 books for $25.
Right.
Where am I? Oh, here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And if you want everything, the whole shebang, that's only $45. And you get the sketch cover too, because I only printed 100 of those and they're stamped. So I kept number 1 and I'm keeping number 100. And I gave number 2 to my inker because I take care of my art team.
Very nice.
It looks like the Fundmycomic interface is more convenient than Indiegogo, right?
I haven't really backed anything on Indiegogo lately. Mine for issue 2, it ended a couple months ago, but that's just feels like forever ago.
Yeah, because at the top, if you have an option you have a drop down at the very top, right, where you can like select different covers for the different issues.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's not possible on Indiegogo.
They don't got anything when it comes to that. Like, you guys you pick what you want. I just sends me a note and I know what to send you, and boom, done. So, and I have a pretty good track record by now. You know, this is my third launch in 18 months. So, getting them out there. Granted, it is floppy size, so I mean, I do have that going for me. Got a nice printer I work with. I got great add-ons. I got awesome trading cards. A lot of cool shit, man. Like metal trading cards come with that.
Yeah, I got that the vampire metal trading card last time. It was nice.
Yep.
Very nice. And this time, actually, I picked up all of these trading cards because I know I'd missed some. So I had 3 of these, but I needed the other ones. So
yeah, the other 2 one of them was a stretch goal with the first campaign.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and they all got those cool little redacted file on the back
Yeah.
that I did. It was pretty cool. I impressed myself with that one, with that idea.
This is so
So
awesome.
all
this is a
three-
military unit.
What's that?
Up, fella? What's up?
I was gonna ask, all three of these issues came out pretty much within a year. Is that like the schedule that you're going by? Like
I'm
every
trying to do a
season?
launch every 8 months because see, here's how it works. Because I launched my first book the end of February 23, right? By the time it gets fulfilled, it's about 6-7 months. By the time everybody reads it, if they do read it, that's the thing. I need to get you guys to read these things.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to get number 1, but issue 2, I came back so quickly, people were kind of unprepared, and I had a different artist, which considerable level up, and the story was better, because who doesn't want to see a badass werewolf, and people were like, whoa. So I even outsold issue 1 with issue 2. That didn't happen with any of the Image books I saw. No offense to them, you know what I'm saying? Because I went out there and I hustled, and people responded well to the first story.
Mm-hmm.
And issue 2, because I think the wraparound cover pretty much made that campaign. Like, that shit's dope. Like, it's like I had an argument with a dude. It's one of the best wraparound covers I've ever seen, just from an objective standpoint. But
Oh yeah.
so we came back with issue 3. Like by the time that everybody has digested issue 2 now, and they're like, because maybe some people backed it back in like May or June, and they're just now getting around to reading it because they know issue 3 is coming out. They're like, oh man, this is great. So by the time everybody really does digest it, the new one is kind of right there. You know what I'm saying? Boom, there it is.
Oh, let me make that big. Hold on. Look at that, folks. Oh my god.
And I upped the production quality on the books. I kind of gave it like a slicker, thicker graphic novel type feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice, man. So can I ask, because actually I'm new to I've known of your book, but now I'm actually going to back all 3 in the bundle, so I haven't read them yet.
Right.
Are the interiors, is the artist the same from issue 1 to 3 for the interiors?
No, I couldn't do it, and I'll tell you why. The first one, we just felt it was better to go in a different direction. The inker, who's been my kind of like my dude between this, he's not my art director, and I gave him a little bit of a raise, and so he's amazing. And so he found a replacement because I was struggling, man, and he worked out great. I was like, oh man, we got a good band here, because it's kind of like, I'm a Rush fan. It's kind of like you once they got Neil Peart on board, they were missing the drummer, and it just clicked.
Mm.
And then we started to have delays there at the end, and some of the pages were a little like slow getting to me. I was like, well, dude, what's up? Because I'm on a schedule. We had a contract. It turns out he's working for this little company called DC, like with this Superman. You might have heard of him. Hold on 1 second.
It's going out the basement.
So
Superman sounds like a lame character to me.
I know. So Alexandria sent me this as like a parting gift, as it were. And so he's doing he can't do it, and his rate's going to go up. So he's no longer an option right now because he's doing the McFarlane figure tie-in comic.
Mm.
So I already had another guy in mind in case I couldn't go with him the first time, in case he was going to say no or something. And so this guy's been working behind it. Once I knew that wasn't going to be an option with him anymore, we got together and we started working on some concepts, and he started love the way he draws women. He's with me now. Like, I don't have to translate as much on what I see in my head in a paragraph description, or like I can draw them just slow. I can do layouts. I did some layouts for the first book, like that villain reveal. That's me.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you drew that, or you drew the layout?
No, that's my layout.
Okay.
All of it. I was like, just draw it like this because I got tired of going back and forth. And so, with this guy, it's just like he reads my mind. It's so seamless. Like we've already got like 10 pages done already, penciled.
Nice.
And he has shown me some layouts, and he's just running with it because he does horror. He wanted a chance to do some horror stuff, and I was like, now's your chance, bro.
Yeah.
So he's got it. Trust me. I dropped a page earlier today. It's sick.
Let me bring that up.
But yeah, and going forward, I don't want to let him go. So we're rolling on this one, and going forward, like I don't see if I were to not have a family and I could keep a schedule to where I'm just like all comics all the time when I'm not working, you know, I could do 3 campaigns a year. It would not be a problem.
Yeah. But honestly, the schedule you've been on is pretty impressive, I gotta say, because I've been, exactly. Because CG, that's obviously one of the biggest criticisms, you know, the delays and how long it takes, and the whole format being that it's a bigger book and it's going to take a longer amount of time.
Right. So I don't have that monkey on my back.
Some people have been debating the whole idea of doing, you know, some smaller books more frequently, which
people say they don't sell. They told me that.
Yeah, well, there's the profit margin issue and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it works, right? It could work.
I'd like to think so. I hope so. But if there were a creator that, you know, like if I were a writer artist and I had the time to dedicate to it, like you really could do it. You know, if you just sat down and buckled. But some people just like they can't. Like I can't put myself in an artist's shoes. Like I can draw and stuff, but I've never called myself an artist. You know, I'm more of like a sculptor anyway. Like I can do stuff with clay. But man, it is possible. You would just have to get so far ahead because I mean that's how they do it in the mainstream. I mean, I don't know, at least they did, where you get 4, sometimes 6 issues ahead, and then work everything out as you go along, like on the back end. But I would like to see more. And Peter Simeti, like that's the guy who's really making it in from the people that would be doing it at the level that I'm doing, like floppies and stuff, because he doesn't want graphic novels. You pitch, he even says like when you pitch to Alterna, they don't do that anymore. He likes self-contained issues, and that's just his business model, and it's working for him. But I would like to see a lot more stories like that, like a series that you're not going to have to wait 2 years to see what the team does next or something like that. Because in the end, isn't that what really killed Image? The delays, the late books, the constant bullshittery.
Well,
also the covers, the speculators and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
All the weird like once they started doing all those like bad girl books and like over 18 like or like the just, you know, just painted clothes over nipples books, like once they started getting a bunch of those, like they had a few years of just.
And see, I must have been gone from that. Like I took a break from comics for a while, dude. I was so burnt out, like, and like being like, I guess maybe forcing myself to stop. I'm like, well, the stories aren't really engaging, so I could just like give comics up, you know. I still got my back issues, and I'm like, it's not like I'm renouncing being a comic fan. I just got tired of it, man. And then I came back on board when I was in the Army because I was effing bored. You know, like, and there was a comic shop literally like a block and a half right outside the gate when I was stationed in Arizona. It was sweet.
Right on.
That is awesome.
And then when I figured out, like, I was like, what did they just, like, when I got back into comics, I guess the Ultimate line had just started a year before, and then right before I left Arizona, they destroyed the Avengers. Like, it was Brian Michael Bendis got his dick fingers in there and just...
Yeah.
His dick fingers.
Like the Ultimate Universe or the regular one?
No, the regular one.
The
like,
regular one.
Avengers disassembled. Like all of a sudden, Jack of Hearts. Like I remember, he's like in a courtyard. He's like, "Hello," and then he blows up. I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
She-Hulk went crazy and destroyed the Vision. And I was like, "What? You're literally just destroying my childhood right here, right in front of me."
Well,
Jack of Hearts didn't do anybody.
The part where they were all scrolls. Did you get to that part that he had done?
Secret
Are you
Invasion.
talking about Secret Invasion? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought me to where I am now.
Yeah.
that made how that made me into the comic creator I am today. Like to have gotten so fed up eventually, dude. I was so done after that. You think I give a flying fuck about 3D Man and the Skrull Kill Crew? Like, who the hell? I got to buy all this shit just to figure out
Grant
this,
Morrison.
just to find out that I didn't get the original Hank McCoy Beast back. You know, the good one, the one that looks like the ape with the Wolverine type hair, like that one. He was. And so I was done. After that, I was like, I'm fucking done with comics, man. I'm never buying. I kept buying the Hulk because I couldn't stop. That's my guy.
Mr. Self-Destruct says, "Fuck them hoe-ass scrolls."
You didn't like the Skrulls, is what you're saying.
That whole storyline. The best thing about that was where, I guess, and it really kind of broke my heart. Like, it turns out Henry Pym was a Skrull, and he shot Reed Richards, and he turned into this real bubblegum weird art. That was a great panel, dude. Was that Francis Yu that drew that? Maybe.
Probably, yeah. Francis, Lenneal Yu or something.
Yeah. I think that was him. Yeah. But that's a great panel. That's the only thing that sticks out of my mind about the whole damn series. It's lame. It was so stupid. I was done after that, and then I kept watching like the MCU got popular, and I was like, oh cool, they're gonna screw it up. Wait, here it comes. I saw it happening. I saw it all happening, and then I was done with that. And then all of a sudden, scrolling on Twitter about my terrible sports team, and I don't know why I saw Ethan Van Sciver trending. I was like, I know that dude.
Oh yeah.
Now I started reading and I found out what Comicsgate was, and I was like, oh no. Went to Wikipedia because that's usually my propaganda detector. It's like my base test. I was like, oh, these people are retarded. So then I saw a cover for like Joe Sontag's book that Shelby Robertson had done, I think. I was like, what are these people doing over here? Like, behind my back. I had no idea that I didn't know it. I was like, they're crowdfunding. I was like, oh, cool. Well, what is that? Is that like GoFundMe? And they're like, no, it's like Indiegogo. I was like, oh, what's Indiegogo? Like, it's kind of like Kickstarter. I was like, what's Kickstarter? I had no idea. For real, I'm 43 years old. When I was 40, I had no idea what any of that was. Like, I didn't say I quit social media and like Facebook in 2010. I never even had a Twitter account until 3 years ago.
Well, it is a relatively new thing. The whole Kickstarter movement, it only really started about maybe 10 years ago with pop-up companies, startup companies,
right,
creating Kickstarters to
create
a product.
I thought it was more for tech, right?
Yeah, for tech stuff and like products. And so it is pretty brand new. And as you know, Comicsgate is still pretty young, 6 years about. Yeah, but so what inspired you? Some other people. What inspired you to take the dive and go, you know what, I'm going to make something?
To be honest, man, I think I was going through a bookstore trying to find comic books, and I saw Superboy kissing a dude with pink hair. Yeah. Like, I just walked by, I was like, what is that? What is that? I thought it was like Connor Kent. That's Superboy. Yeah. Thank goodness it wasn't, but
that made the news. Yeah, everybody found out about that.
I had heard about Iceman, like Bobby Drake, and all this stuff. And it was like suddenly, like, I guess it was like 2012 or something. It just started taking a real left turn. Stories weren't for me, and I got told they weren't for me. And so I was like, you know what? I had an idea back in 2005. We were on patrol one time. I was like, what if it's like a team of monsters? At that time it was like a mummy in my head and all this other stuff, like kind of like a paramilitary team of monsters, and you don't have to expend human lives. And then what if they're like on, trying to like find magical cool shit and trying to stop the end of the world? Because at the end of the day, what it's all about, stopping the end of the world when you got a book like this. So I met a guy that, like, he saw me one day reading a book that my mother had sent me, And he's like, "Oh, you like comics?" And we got talking for a while, and I was like, "Man, I got this idea," because he said he could draw, and he was a pretty competent artist, man. So he's like, "I know some people cross-gen." I was like, "Oh man, I know who they are, like Mark Waid and all those people." Glad I didn't work there. But
GPT.
and Rob Hunter, he worked there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people that I've talked to that worked at CrossGen. I was like, oh, that would have been cool, but I don't think my book would have fit in there. But I don't know if he's lying or what. Anyway, we came back.
Like,
what's up?
Like looking at it, like what would you compare it to? Like almost maybe like a Doom Patrol, but like with
people have been describing it as like it's almost like it's kind of like Dresden Files or Chronicles. I never read it.
I don't know.
It's or like Hellboy. Like I never read Hellboy. I saw the movie.
Okay.
And it was I think after or it was right before maybe. But this is this doesn't go into stuff like that.
Okay.
But
there was I did see the werewolf.
Yeah.
I would assume
so we got like a werewolf, a vampire, a siren, and all stuff like that. So it's kind of like this little like a hit squad that goes out and solves like kind of like the magical version of Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Aren't Ghostbusters the magical version of Ghostbusters?
Yeah,
they're like scientists.
Yeah. So
it's a little bit like
this is like the legend version of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I don't know if you know about that book.
Oh yeah, I've read that. Yeah.
Like that, but less nerdy. That's
yeah. I'm not gonna talk down to people either. It's just a good story. It's fun, and like Nancy's believable because she's not the best at everything or anything really. so.
What inspired the cat? Because Rob Hunter told me that it was a shameless ripoff of Captain Marvel. So I'm curious to know.
Which Captain Marvel?
I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. The
He
movie.
Say that. I've never even seen it.
The girl Captain
Marvel. So this is the cat's really my self-insert. Like at the end of the day, he just wants to be left alone. Just like take me to my library. I just want to read books and like I don't want to deal with all these because when you have a cat, you're their pet. So he has all these pets that he did not sign up for. He doesn't want none of that. And so he just has a basic view of the world. Like there is good, there is evil. And like it does need to be called out. And he doesn't understand. Like there's a line in the book where in issue 2 where she says, shouldn't you be black? And he was like, why has everything got to do with melanin content with you people? I'm just a talking cat. Just deal with it. Just let it go.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm sorry. He's like, don't be sorry. Just shut up. So, yeah, that's like he's a very learned person, which that's not my self-insert. I'm not that learned. But he is really the moral compass you'll find out in the book. Like out of all of them, he's really the most religious, which people will be like, but you'll see.
That's cool, dude. That was one thing that I really liked about I'm pretty sure it was specifically in issue 2 where like some people will the good guys, they don't really specify that the good guys are or aren't religious.
Yeah.
And there was a specific character in that book and if I'm not mistaken, like either an angel or God like directly spoke to him, and that you don't see that in most comic books. I think people are afraid to do that. But I really appreciated it.
Well, you got to have
really
stakes,
cool.
man, because this is good versus evil. This is I've taken. All right, so what I've done with this is, and some people might not like it. Like you've taken religion, and then some people cross it into science. Religion it used to be a way of explaining things humanity wasn't capable of understanding, like how the sun comes up, rain, lightning, primal forces, right? And so we take this back to at the end of the day, you have light and you have dark. The dark is the absence of light, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to build off of that and then take it back to those initial building blocks and see how it branched off from different areas of the world. By one common thread is going to be through this whole thing, but it might take different shapes. It might take different turns. Everything is going to be twisted into one long narrative that is like a cohesion to where at the end of the day, when it's like the tagline, it's all connected. It is all connected. So everything has happened for a reason, and every panel in this comic and every page does have a purpose because I have limited real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be able to drop Easter eggs, and I wrote this in reverse anyway. So I knew the ending before I really kind of knew where I'm at now.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Because this is 13 issues and it's done. I'm sorry, it's done.
So you're saying I can go back once it's all said and done, I can go back to issue 1 and I'll be like, oh shit, he put that right there.
You can do it now. Like once you get issue 3, you can go back to issue 1 and be like, people are like, well, that's a throwaway line. He didn't need to say that. She didn't need to say that. They didn't need to do that. Yes, they did. Why is that there? That's there. It's because it's there.
That's
going to be the fun as we go forward and people start to catch on to this. Like I've already built like a H.H. Holmes style hotel with all these doors that go to nowhere and stairways that stop, and you're like, son of a bitch.
So here's a question I have for you. How I guess what I would say is how, so you've got this new, you have a new artist, and so you said it's a lot easier where you don't have to really do as many layouts and things like that anymore.
No.
Do you just send him this? You don't send him any visuals at all. You just send him the script and you let him run with it. And do you put the script in like, do you separate it per page, or do you say, look at this, tell me how many pages it is?
Oh, every page has a panel description, who's talking, what they're saying. It's that's how I operate, because if as a writer, if I were to read something that somebody wrote and sent me, I'd be like, I got to know what's going on. I have to see it in my head before I know if this is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to change editors because only because it's not me because I'm an asshole. It's only because my editor, he's taking a break from comics and he's got some life stuff to deal with and wishes me the best. And in the future, if you guys get a chance, go Lee Byron Carver, Company Men, back it. It's on my top 5 recommends. But we went with Aaron Sparrow. He used to work with Boom Studios with Darkwing Duck and all that. So he whipped this script into shape, and we're rolling. Issue 4, 5, and 6 are already written. They're just not edited.
That's awesome. Are they all going to be about 26 pages? Is that what you're trying to stick to?
This is 28 now, so I'd like to kind of keep it at this.
Okay,
that's nice.
Very nice. We have Katie did in the chat saying,
hello,
"Hail,
Katie.
Chat and panel." What's up, Katie? Thank you, Katie, for being nice to me. Or when I was kind of trolling you and Liam the other night, I got what I wanted.
The koala.
What show were you on, Pete Patrick? I saw you on.
I was just in the chat, but I got Liam to say, "I will fucking bury you," and I'm gonna use it like in a song or something. It's gonna be awesome. Like a metal song starts off with that
knows how to make him songs, man.
Oh, he does. And so does I just met Apple Pits the other day. Met him. He's a nice guy.
I remember. Liam was like when I got around here, it was about 2 years ago, give or take. He was like a myth, like a legend, like your boys act. Like I don't even know who that guy is really. I know who he is, and like I know who they are now, but like when I got here, I was like, they were like, bring me Ethan Van Sciver. Bring me Ethan Van Sciver. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? He's got a suit on. It's cool.
I want to see the blood on my hands.
I don't know.
JDA.
But it's all funny. It's all funny to me. Like all of it.
I love it.
Yeah. I don't care. I'm cool. I'm cool with everybody. Like I don't care. Like
bring me.
Ethan, I'm cool with JDA. Like all of them. Ethan had me, or Liam had me blocked at one point for some reason. And then it's probably because when he went like full scorched earth on anybody who said Comicsgate in a breath, and so didn't realize who he was blocking. But he unblocked me, and he's cool. I'm cool with him. I don't harbor any ill will to anybody because I don't care. Like at the end of the day, we're all selling books. It's probably better if we all get along. But some of the blood sports are fun to watch from time to time.
Yeah,
because Ethan's a good smartass.
Oh yeah. Carbon.
What do you think about the move that Eric July recently made with the discounts to $5 and his commentary on it?
See, I have seen it. I haven't seen any commentary. I don't like all that's above my pay grade. I heard he reduced some shit to $5, but I don't know what that has to do. But I mean, liquidation sales happen all the time. I guess like people have eBay stores where they sell stuff at a lower price, but like I don't know the full story or the logistics. And I mean, at this point, like what they do, like he can take a breath and make more money than I can. So I mean, but he did share my campaign on the last book, and it made me some money. So some of those people saw the hustle. But
So you're pleading the fifth.
Pleading the fifth. I mean, I don't know anything about it.
Carmen wants you to go hard in the pain against him.
Trying to stay neutral. I can respect that. I can respect that.
I hear you. No, I hear you. I hear you.
But like, I can't really speak on things I don't know of. Like in my former profession in the military, I got to have all the facts before I start typing up a memo or start looking into things. But I mean, if I were a backer, explain to me in 45 seconds what happened. Go.
Cobbin, I'm gonna let you do it because you're obviously the one who wants blood here.
No, I'm not saying that I necessarily want blood. It's just that, you know, it's been interesting over the past few days because Eric did a live stream in which some of the chat kind of held his feet to the fire about it. They confronted him and said, hey, you know, I spent, you know, whether it was $35 or hundreds of dollars on your first campaign. You said these were going to be collectibles. You're talking about first issue, first appearance. And basically they were saying, you know, they don't appreciate it suddenly being $5 because that means now there's no resale value on all of it. And essentially, long story short, his answer was, it was actually pretty funny because he rationalized it live in real time on stream. And he at the end he went, at the end he goes, hey, listen, what would you rather do? Buy it for hundreds of dollars on eBay off of someone, or buy it for $5 from me directly? And he goes, obviously, you want to buy it for $5. And one last thing that I think was the funniest thing. He goes, also, if you wanted to really make money off this investment, you should just wait for the sale.
Yeah.
Wait for the sale and buy a bunch of copies. And then you can sell them once the price goes backs up. And I go, that's not good for you, buddy. That's not what you want to have happen.
I mean, that's a hell of a sale. From 30 it was 35 and he sold it for $5. I mean, like, were we talking like stretch goals? Like, I mean, in the first book you got stretch goals. I don't know what his stretch goal situation is. That sounds weird to say.
It wasn't like a crowd fund. Like, it was just.
That's right. It wasn't a crowd fund.
That's his problem, is that like he has all these extra products. He bought all of them so that everyone could be like. And he saw that everyone was complaining about late books, so he's like, I already got my shit already done. Oh, you got the book, $35. Here you go. And you know he's telling
them, here's the issue.
You know how great it is.
I mean, maybe not take it down to 5. That just seems like.
Yeah, 5.
Well,
5.
The truth is,
like maybe 25 would have been more palatable. You know, like hey, like a percentage, like that would have been I'm not gonna say that would have been the smart answer.
Well,
that would have been
values the product so much because I thought about getting them because they were $5, and I was like, you know what? In another 6 months, these same things are going to be 3 for $5. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be $5, and you get the whole kit and caboodle. Yeah. You get Alpha Core and Isom 1, 2, and 3, and also we're throwing in Yaira and Horseman. And you know what I mean? Like, it's just going to keep. He's stuck with all this product that he already bought, rather than when you do it.
So it sounds like I mean, just from outsider perspective, it just sounds like he overprinted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't do a crowd fund, so he didn't have like an accurate number for what his demand was. He just printed.
But can you think about that for a second? He didn't have an accurate number of what his demand was going to be.
Why did he? No. Why did he just? No. Here's the thing. Like, I mean, stop. That's I don't know what all you would have had to do on say because it went on a sale on his website, correct?
Mhm.
After it was done, close it and say, we're going into the printer, guys. Here's the printer file. Start giving people updates on what they're getting. And then, hey, here's the books. You make a big deal out of it. Here's the books out of the printer. Do a freaking unboxing. Like, here's the books out of the printer.
Mhm.
Because then you know how many you need to print and then know how many you need for extras for shows and all that stuff. I don't understand.
Well, that's what I was.
I thought this was
that. The amount that he overprinted.
I'm sorry. I'm getting. Oh my god.
No, you're fine. Considering how much, like, he made a lot of money on that first campaign. Let's be honest, and he sold a ton of books. But think about how much he overprinted on that campaign that would lead to the situation he is now. He must have thought that he was going to make what he made 3.7, I think, on the first campaign. He must have thought he was going to make like $5 or $6 million. That's where his mindset was going into issue 1, which is wild to me.
But I mean, the fact that he did make that much money, like, I mean, in all fairness, that shit should be celebrated, touted. Like, what's the most, like?
I think it's the highest grossing campaign for an indie comic. Yeah, it's true.
I was going to say, let's just say that, like, he's like, well, it's not a crowdfund. Let's just, for the sake of argument, you crowdfunded it, or you raise the money by selling it to people direct, or whatever you call it, pre-sales, whatever. That's still an achievement. I mean, it can't be scoffed at. Whether you question on how it happened, like via YouTube, cult of personality, or whatever, like that, you can still recognize and tip your hat to that. But all the other criticisms can be valid. They're both they're not mutually exclusive.
What if
that's kind of
how many copies of Ice on One did he sell?
Don't know for sure.
Like, would you say with all the multiples? So if he sold like 30,000 copies, I think that of like one cover, and like, you know, a similar number for the other 2 covers, right? So let's say he printed 100,000 copies altogether that he sold, and then but he'd also overprinted by another whatever it was. You know, like, this is the thing. It's like, is he getting the other thing that people have always suggested is that it was all basically like a publicity write-off for like Blaze or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like, oh, just you know, once you print so many copies of a comic, if you print 100,000 copies of a comic, you get like a pretty good price for like for like what it costs. You know what I mean?
About printing costs?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I would think so.
But here's the thing, Ben. Ultimately, as soon as I saw that issue with the sale and the criticism of the sale, just that alone, my immediate thought was, okay, you just damaged your next campaign for item number 3.
Right.
And then he ultimately proved it to be true on that live stream where he said he made a huge mistake. I think that's why he took it down, where he said, hey, if you really want to make an investment and make money, wait for the sale and then buy a bunch of copies and sell it later. And I said, that's exactly what everyone's going to do, man. Who's going to buy it when it comes out for $35 now? If you're just going to turn around and do this later on.
Yeah.
So it was damaging. It wasn't as smart.
I mean, you could also spin it like I don't watch. I've never watched his YouTube. Like, that's like politics to me. I'm just like I used to be steeped in it. I don't care anymore. Like, I have my views. You've probably seen them on Twitter. I really don't care. Nothing's gonna change my mind because I know what evil is. I know what. Bottom line, all he had to do was say, like, and I don't know if he did, just say, look, the economy sucks right now. I want to give people a break. I know $35 is a lot, because I don't care what you say, and people take offense to this. All our books are overpriced. If you look at the newsstand or whatever it is, the comic shops, like, well, it's the people would rather buy Marvel and rather buy, shit books in DC. Yeah, because they're only $4.99 at the, that's a big deal, and they don't have to pay shipping. $35 would, like, I don't know, was like how much was his shipping? Let's just say what, $15?
$8.
Oh, that's cool. That's what my shipping is. Way to go, Eric.
Yeah,
I know you were smart. But so
Let's
that's
not
what,
get
like,
hasty. Okay.
that's just $53, right? Or $43, right? For a comic. How many pages was it?
About 78, I want to say.
I can't do the. Oh, that's a lot though.
Yeah, it is a lot.
I
A lot
can't
of
do the
trash,
math.
though.
I would say that I'm still kind of overpriced just because of the rest of the market. You know, if you look at a graphic novel that would come out in the stores. So
I mean, if it was a
But
high level artist and writer, I would pay $35 for an 80
right,
page
and
book. For sure.
that's a competitive. That's kind of a competitive price, especially with the shipping. Most people, Indiegogo, like back in the when I first got here, was charging what, like 25 plus 10 for like a 42 page book or something, or 52. Like, man, the perception is reality. When people start to perceive something like that you're trying to scam people, it becomes reality. And the more you shout about it, the worse you're going to make it on yourself. And just at
That's
the end of the day,
very true.
man, at the end of the day, that's what should have happened. Like, that's why I drop my prices, because I'm trying to be competitive and I know the market sucks. And I cannot stand telling somebody like you're going to charge you $20 plus for a 26 page comic. Are you out of your mind? But I'm trying to do what I can because my selling point is a great story that people are loving, and I'm gonna keep on keeping on. There's nothing else in my private life that I would rather do. Like, I still watch sports. I still have a life outside of comics, but I don't play guitar anymore. I don't play drums anymore. This is what I do with my spare time. I read and I write.
Also, you're another musician.
Yeah. Sorry.
Patrick and myself are also.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to want to be interested in contributing on the Comicsgate's album, would you? It's all very murky right now.
Dude. Hell no.
You don't have time for that?
Start practicing again. Like, I really haven't played guitar in almost a year.
Okay.
And I know it's not that hard to pick back up, but I'm just getting to the point. Like, but the other day I was listening to David Gilmour's song, and I was like, oh man, I kind of want to play this right now. But
Wait, how long has it been since you played?
Probably over a year since I've even plugged in my guitar.
Wow.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Comics takes a lot of your time, bro.
Guitar is not as hard as people think.
Yeah.
You'll remember it right away, man. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah. I'm more of a drummer though. I love playing drums.
Nice.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, I have the Mythicals. It seems to be catching on. You know, people do have responded to it, and I have a book. It's coming. It's kind of like in the vein. I can't talk much about it, but it's kind of like in the vein of like it's kind of a parody book. It's almost like Cash Grab, but that's what he kind of told me. He's like, write me a CG-ish version of Cash Grab. I was like, never read Cash Grab, but I'll see what I can do. And John Dillard's drawing it. Justin Belmont's producing it.
Nice.
That's all I can say. But it's like, I chuckle. Like, I looked at a page today he sent me. I'm like, yeah, I forgot I wrote that. That shit is hilarious. But it's a chance for me to, like, I guess, like, grow a little bit and show that I'm not just like a horror guy, because like I can't do, like, I am a horror fan, but I don't know if I could do like a traditional like a cape shit book, as Altus would say. I just don't know if I got it in me. Like, I would just feel almost like corny. Like, I don't know if I could, if somebody was like, hey, fuckstick, you're writing Spider-Man now, I'd be like, I don't know if I could do that without having to, like, Mary Jane's in trouble because Hobgoblin's gone crazy and it's not the real Hobgoblin, it's this 15th Hobgoblin. Come on, man. I don't know if I could work on anything but the Hulk. That's really the only thing that could ever get me away from indie comics.
Nice. So would you call the werewolf character in your book like your kind of Hulk stand-in, or is there a different character?
No, he is like the muscle, I guess, of the group. But he's more of he's like the grizzled war veteran. He used to lead this team.
Okay.
So they're having to bring Rover back to they needed his help, because Lucas, I mean, as funny as he is and as good as he is what he does, he's only human. So we got to have a backup plan.
Mm-hmm. We have General Johnny Scab in the chat. Hello, you motley lot.
Oh, I've seen he wears the
Johnny?
mask. I've seen
Yeah.
popped in on the streams a couple times.
Yeah. Johnny's a damn legend.
What's up, Johnny?
We got Hansel Hauser in the chat, by the way, but he keeps putting in little emojis in here. I want to read what you have to say, Hansel, but I mean, crown. I know. I feel like one of those NPCs now. Crown. Bloop.
Yeah, I thought one was like
You guys
Arabic
seen that
for-
shit?
Yeah.
The
TikTok.
the TikTok NPC people who make a fuck ton of money acting like not a real person.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
Doesn't it
I can't
boil
believe
your
that.
blood?
Yes, it does.
The world has turned into
That's
Black
that's
Mirror.
what I've been doing that. So it's,
Do you remember that show, Black Mirror?
Oh yeah,
It came out?
great show.
Dude, there are episodes, and there's
It's
actually
so
one
good.
specific episode where everybody is like, they live in their own little cube, and they don't even leave their cube, right? And so their food is, they get everything in the cube. But you know how they make revenue? They have a live stream on one of the walls, right? And they do a show. And so everybody in these cubes they have their own live streams. And it's chilling how that episode, which came out, I think that came out like 8 years ago or something. And that shit has become almost a reality, dude.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, the one that got me was the one where people give points when they interact with you. They give you like a rating 1 out of 5, and if you get
Your
down
social
to
credit.
like 2, you become a truck driver and you can't do shit, can't buy things, can't reserve places at restaurants. That was wild because that is kind of currently going on in China, if I'm not mistaken, and
Yeah.
to a very like unconscious degree in America. But yeah,
No,
that's
they have it. They just don't make it public.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a list of all the things that
There's
you've
a
liked
list.
and reposted, and so that's why
China's-
Carbon. I know you're worried about showing people your face, but that's why I just decided to do it. I was like, they fucking know already. They know who which accounts Patrick Quinlan owns and what he's liking, and I just figured, fuck it,
Yeah, I'm
listen,
because of the creator thing. People don't want to buy anything from an avatar.
That's true.
World War III is coming anyway within the next 2 years. So, like I said the other day, I'm already mentally prepared for the fact that it's going to go down, and we're going to have to take it to the streets. So, by the way, speaking of that, Hojo, being that you're aware of, you have a history with the military. Are you aware of what's going on with these Venezuelan gangs taking over?
I've heard things.
Buildings.
My response is like, told you so.
Yeah,
told you so.
Yeah, let's keep.
Told you guys a long time ago, but nobody wanted to listen.
okay.
Let's keep the border open for another 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, like I was stationed in Arizona. Like, this is before Border Patrol. Like, I helped train for Border Patrol. They're like, this is really before they were ever qualified to take on what they do now. And man, there's so many leaks. Even back then. Now it's not a leak. There's signs telling you where the leaks are. Like, hey, go here. If you want to go to America, go here.
It's crazy, man.
yeah.
It's pretty bad, man. Like, I'm all for it as long as like it's the legal way and it's for the right reasons, not because I hate to sound hard-hearted, but sometimes it's like just because you can't find a job there doesn't mean you have to sneak across here. Like, if you don't have any skills that can contribute to America at this point, you're going to be on a wait list.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, it's become clear that basically
I don't want you to
liberal
empty
policies. Yeah, liberal policies has been destroying the country, and if it continues, it is going to make it even worse. We're not liberals on this stream, by the way.
I think coupled with like a cultural rot, really, like hedonism and nihilism. It's a lot of people don't want to take responsibility for anything. They're like, I can do what I want. At the end of the day, there are consequences.
Yeah.
But that's what they really want is freedom of consequence. Like, you can say and do what you want, and I can say and do what I want, but if you say or do something I don't like, well, that's not allowed. That's not how it's supposed to work. Like, when they talk about democracy, they don't want a democracy. And I'm not gonna get off on a political tangent, but like I used to be a Democrat in the '90s, and then I was shown what things really were. And I'm not really saying I'm a Republican. Like I am a centrist by nature. And I question everything, but I got shoved onto the right. Like when Ronald Reagan said the Democratic Party left me, well, it left me too. It's not only it left me, like it kept me on and like just lied. And both sides have lied. Don't get me wrong. Like I hate politicians. Like my wife's always like, you should be a politician. It's like, one, I can't stop cursing. Two, I'll tell somebody if they try to go after my family, say something wrong about a member of my family, even one I'm not even close to, I'll smack the shit out of them. So there's my political career done. But a lot of people think I assume that like I'm from the South and like I'm dumb. Like don't let the smooth edge fool you, man. I do read. I did go to college. I'm pretty smart. Not the smartest guy in the room because I know I'm not the smartest guy in the room. You know what I mean?
Wait, why did you?
I'm just kidding. Once again, that's another liberal myth because, as we know, the college institutions are just indoctrination.
Oh, no,
for the most part, the degrees are useless. But earlier you said that's a good point. The Democratic Party left you, and that happened to a lot of people. Yeah. I think now the Democrat Party has left America because they're no longer even thinking about America's best interests.
You know who Victor Davis Hanson is? Brilliant man. You should look him up. He said the problem with the Democratic Party and with the classic, we'll take classic liberalism out of the equation. We'll substitute progressivism. The progressive Democrat. They think that America is the problem in the world, when in fact, they are the solution. Like, as flawed as George Bush might have been, we're talking about W at this point. If you do, as naive as he was, if you start instilling freedom around the world, it becomes contagious. Like, without America to stand for freedom and hope, who else is going to do it?
Great Britain,
China, Brazil,
right? Like and people will say like democracy. You know, we don't want a dictator, and I hear that. I've been hearing that a lot lately. We don't want a dictator. Well, what do you do once outside of a dictator? There's a group of individuals at the top that will make all the decisions for you for the rest of the world and decide this is how it should be. You're supplanting a dictator with a conglomerate of dictators because they all have their own little fiefdoms. It's a one world order. Like what is it George Carlin says? It's a big fucking club and you and me ain't in it. That's what you're asking for. And I would be careful when you start saying like you shouldn't have a right to say these things or you need to take our team is from Brazil, and I make no bones about it. I have a budget. I'm a baller. I'm a baller of a comic creator on a fucking budget. Look at what I've done with the budget I have. They can't be on Twitter. Alan Goldman, who did that fantastic cover I have of the werewolf fighting the vampire, he can't be on Twitter because he's in Brazil, and some guy that looks like some kind of freaking gay ass Voldemort has done said. You can't have it in this country anymore because we don't like what you say, and you can't tell other people that we don't like what they say. Dude, what are you out of your mind?
That's a big problem, man. Brazil just got fucked over big with that.
They can't promote on Twitter anymore.
It's funny because I believe that what's been happening in Venezuela is like a contagion and that's why, once again, evil prevails when the good fails to act. That's what I believe.
Yes.
And so, when these situations aren't stopped or nipped at the bud, it's a contagion. It's an infection that spreads. And I think that's why that happened in Brazil.
Yeah. I mean, they overthrew their president like Bolsonaro or whatever, and then just elected the wrong, I'm not going to say the wrong government, but one that didn't take freedom into account. And I'll tell you what, and a lot of people are like, oh, look at the guy from Argentina. Just watch and see what they try to do to him.
Yeah.
Oh, the haircut guy?
Yeah.
The haircut.
When he went in and like fired everybody, like reduced the debt and all this stuff, and it's like we reject all these socialist commie pigs.
Right.
Just wait and see what they try to do to him. I'm not saying
commies don't like that when you get in their business. They try to.
And down there is no fellas. There are no rules down there in warfare because at the end of the day, guess who's going to be doing the killing for him? The cartels.
Mm-hmm.
The motherfuckers are just like crazy anyway. So if you really want to see it like a war, like how a war used to be fought, that's where it'll go. Like that's old school war. They have machetes and they'll have some RPGs but it's gonna mostly be guns and stuff. And they're not afraid to go up and slit people's throats and go into people's houses and like you see what happened in Venezuela, what they did to that apartment complex. Imagine hundreds of those going towards the city capital.
Now that they're trying it in Chicago. It's spreading. It started in Colorado, and now they're trying to take over apartment buildings in Chicago.
Good luck to them.
The
I don't think that's going to work out.
The blacks are resisting.
Yeah, I heard like the gangs have gotten united to to get them out of their building. Like, hey man, this is where we sell crack. It's going to be very
interesting.
Hey man, this is our crack selling grounds, you son of a bitch.
This is where we traffic our women.
There's people posting. I don't know if you saw on Twitter, black gang members posting from Chicago, being like, "I need somebody to translate this into Spanish for me." you ain't taking over my block.
It's
not long for the. I don't see them mounting a valid defense. They've already taken over. Like,
you think the Venezuelans are going to win? Can we put?
But they actually have machine guns though.
On the gang.
Put up a poll. Who you got your money on? The Venezuelans or the?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My money's on Venezuelans.
People in the chat.
Yeah, the Venezuelans are a little.
If Chicago's response is to post on fucking TikTok.
Yeah, this is Candyland.
They're
going to come in there and run all that shit.
Okay.
They're the captains now.
That's what I'm saying. They're not ready for like actual fucking gangsters and shit. Like they're gonna be. That's my
people's heads off and shit. You mean like mailing it to your mom?
Like those are the people. Like I'll tell you this, man. I spent a lot of time in the Middle East, and I spent some time in Haiti, a couple weeks. Right? Yeah. I would rather spend a year in Iraq, Afghanistan, fucking pick one, than a month, 2 months in Haiti. I never really got scared, but man, like just something about that. Those people, they don't care. Like the Hajis and all those people, they set bombs, they do tricky shit, and like they're pussies. They don't fight hand to hand. They ain't gonna come up in my face. Shit, the Haitian kids will come up and try to castrate you.
Jesus Christ!
Yo, Haiti.
We gave. They told us not to give
possessed,
anything
dude.
to anybody, like because they're like, yeah, we gave a goat to this family. Their neighbors killed them for it. I was like, God, shit.
Yo, last year there was a gang member who took over Haiti last year, and there was cannibalism.
Yeah. What did they call him?
In the streets.
What did they call him?
They called him Barbecue.
Name. Barbecue. That's
oh my God!
God! Oh God! There's some deep cuts, man.
That's amazing.
That feels like 5 years ago.
Talk about dark humor, bro. I'm barbecue.
You gotta admit though, you gotta give it to the guy. Like, you know, at least you're really leaning into the whole cannibalism thing.
Hell yeah, man.
We got a new person in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Flady1. He says Western society died around 1908 to 09. We just didn't know it till recently. And he said NYC is having takeovers too. Yeah, I think my personal opinion is the Western society, the beginning of the end started when America was poisoned right after World War II. But that's a long conspiracy we could go into at a different time.
I mean, the seeds were sown for the blueprint was laid down in the Woodrow Wilson administration. But I mean, he had the balls to say it out loud. He's like, the quickest way to change the country is is through the schools and the courts. What the hell do you think they've done? Yeah.
Fuck Woodrow Wilson.
I know all about him. Like me and him share a hometown. He is a deity there. I'll tell you what. You know how I'll put you this way. They had a place called the Stonewall Jackson Hotel in Robert E. Lee High School. Guess what? Protesters, they bust them in. This is 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when a certain person was in office and everything. They had this campaign, change the name. Well, they made them change the name to the Stanton Hotel. They made it change the name to Stanton High School. Eliminated all of it, right? These are Civil War people, in case nobody knows. Robert E. Lee he led the Confederate forces. Woodrow Wilson's birthplace is right up the street. What do you think would happen? And like, if you go downtown when they're not shooting movies or something, it's all like pride stuff everywhere. Like they got this big mural that says "You belong here." I'm like, whatever. How much you want to bet is if I stood outside his birthplace with a sign that says "An effing racist lived here," what do you think would happen? One of the city council, one of these jackwagons would come up and would call the cops and say that I was an agitator and then I needed to be removed.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
That
The
much.
hypocrisy of these people. And it sickens me. And I've got nothing to do. Like, if it were for my mother and my wife's parents that live there, I would drive around it.
Yeah, it's getting pretty rough. I mean, honestly, the only solution is for people who disagree with what's going on in their city to leave, or the whole state, just leave the whole state.
Now, get involved,
Move.
man. You gotta take a stand, and if you can afford it, have as many kids and outbreed these people. Get involved in your city council. Go to find out what your kids are doing. Go to PTA meetings. You bet your ass I'll be going to them, because I told my wife when we got married, I was like, "That's woman's work. That's wife work." And her bosses.
Honestly, it sounds like you're. I'm assuming you're in the red state. You're not in a blue city.
No, I'm in a red area, but I'm not in a blue. I'm not in a red state.
It's tough when you're living in a blue area and you got your kids and they're going to school. You stand a little chance.
I'm in Virginia, man.
Yeah,
I'm not in a red
state
anymore. We have a red governor.
Saying is I agree with getting involved, but what I'm saying, I've been seeing people get involved trying to speak up, and they're getting drowned out in these heavy blue areas. You know,
it's like these people are like, we left California because the taxes are so high, so we're gonna go here and vote the same retards in and raise our taxes.
God, don't you hate that? I just wish there was a little thing like when you tried to move to a new state. It was like, are you from California? Okay, no. The answer is no. You got to go back.
Yeah. Your taxes are double.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
I heard California tried to
match the taxes they were paying in California.
You have to pay them taxes for 5 years after you live.
I heard about that. That's fucking bullshit. Come and get them. Yeah. How about that? Flady says our education systems were designed on the old Prussian model and set up as a poison pill. They still rely heavily on B.F. Skinner's work.
Yeah.
Isn't B.F. Skinner the head of the FBI in X-Files?
No, that's
I'm kidding.
I thought you were gonna say the principal from The Simpsons at first.
I actually never watched The Simpsons. I should though. Now that I see it's like everywhere. Apparently, it predicted everything. Katie says Virginia is split, but Hojo and I are in the red part of Virginia.
Yeah, we don't live in It's amazing that all these blue areas either metropolitan cities or university towns. It's funny how that works out.
Mm-hmm. Dakar says, thank God I live in Florida in a red area too, with 73% for Trump in 2016.
Oh, I think it's going to be even more this year.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I'm planning on moving to Florida.
Hansel says, clang, 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 clang. Where are you, Carbon? You're in New York, aren't you? Or somewhere around there?
I'm in the Northeast.
Yeah.
I'm in the general region of the Northeast.
Yeah. The very general region. I just assumed because of all the motorcycles. I don't know why I assumed with motorcycles in the background that means New York, but that's the way my brain works. So
we got biker gangs.
Yeah, for all I know, you could be like right next to an old rundown bar with a biker gang, like the Sons of Liberty or whatever. Sons of Liberty, that's a Metal Gear Solid game, not a biker gang.
You're thinking Sons of Anarchy.
That's right. You're right. I live right next to I live in St. Louis, but St. Louis is, I mean, the city's no good. And it's really East St. Louis that everybody thinks about when they know about all the crime and the murder and stuff, which is across the river. So it'd be easy to blow that bridge up and prevent them from coming over here if I
Well,
really
there you
needed
go.
to.
Yeah.
So
The power back to you.
right.
Yeah. There you go. Well, there you go. I mean, there's no way. Like, there's nobody taking over our cities. Like where I live, that's not that's not happening. Like whatsoever. Like no, our
Everybody's ready, prepared for that kind of a thing.
yeah, well, just like they would come here and be like, "Ooh, probably
Right.
not gonna do." There are a lot of American flags around here. It's not gonna-
Y'all best keep stepping.
Well, no, we don't all talk like that. But they, like, yeah, everybody has guns. Yeah.
Guns are great. They're very good things, and everybody should have one.
Like,
of
and
them.
I always like I don't have any in my house, but like I always use the analogy with Professor X and X-Men 2 is I feel a great deal of pity for anybody who comes to that house looking for trouble.
Yeah.
Try it. Like I almost would like to try it sometimes, but yeah. It's
Well, I bet you that the people who lived in that apartment building in Colorado that got raided, I bet you they all wish that they had guns.
I bet.
Mm.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have happened, right?
Nope.
No.
That's why I'm kind of excited for all this. I mean, you guys with kids and wives, that's, I feel bad for you. But I'm kind of bored, so I'm kind of waiting for these motherfuckers to roll up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there was a shooting today in Georgia, so there will be a call to take all the guns away.
Uh-huh.
I heard it was a 14-year-old kid. That's fucking terrible, dude.
I love how it's always the tool of what happened and not like the actual mental stability of the person involved. We don't care at all about people's mental states and in the slightest anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, really, the reaction would be from one side of the aisle, you're going to be like, thoughts and prayers, this is a tragedy, and which it is, and which you should. And then the other side is like, this is why we need sensible gun control. The Second Amendment is outdated. We need to get rid of. It's always a knee-jerk reaction. It's always, and I'm not saying it needs. These things do need to be regulated, and they say there's no way they don't know how the 14-year-old kid got the weapon. That's great. You should find that out quickly.
Right.
That's no good, man.
What'd you say, Doctor?
Are the kids still running around with the gun?
No, he surrendered.
Oh,
They arrested him. But once again, though, it was revealed that apparently the FBI was aware of him, and they were already tipped off about him making gun threats, just like the Uvalde shooter in Texas, in which he mysteriously acquired $400 worth of ammunition. Oh no, $1,400 worth of ammunition, being that he was a 17-year-old with no job.
Yeah, dude, that's
what sort of pharmaceuticals he was prescribed.
Oh, and he was trans, by the way. Forgot about that important detail.
Yeah, so they got
the one today, the one that happened today.
No, the Uvalde one.
Oh,
so it was a girl.
Oh.
Yeah,
that was like Aubrey or something, right?
Okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't remember the
they
name,
still haven't
but
released that video. Like, there's some stuff.
My implication
about that info.
My implication is that these are actually tools being used as patsies to push that agenda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Y'all ever heard of MK Ultra?
Yeah. Nothing would surprise me nowadays, and like young people's minds are so malleable, and like gaslighting someone it's an art form, and I think a lot of these people, like the media in particular, wield these powers and think that it's not gonna surely it's not what I'm saying is not. People know the difference, like it's hyperbole. A lot of people don't. A lot of people have problems and can't process this, and they think like, well, this person's evil. Well, you're hearing 100 people a day say that X is bad, not the platform, but what I'm saying, like, insert whatever, they're evil and they need to go. They're a threat. Like, these are phrases these are triggering phrases. Believe me, like. they don't think they're programming these people. Like they have no regard for them, because at the end of the day, what's it about? Helping our side win.
Mm-hmm.
And like, regardless of what I may say or think about Donald Trump, and he's not a perfect person, he did do one lasting legacy in this country that I think not a lot of people will give him credit for, which is forcing them to drop the masks. Like, they went, a lot of people suspected it with Obama. That's really where it started. Like, they were the kingmakers. They made Barack Obama. They elected a president. They can do whatever they want. It's their side. They're in charge now. They're in the good. He's hip. We got offices in the White House. We're hooked up with social media. And then when someone comes along and upsets an apple cart, well, that's just, we can't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And so these people are just so irresponsible with what they say and what they do, all in this asinine quest for power. Like, to go to to stay getting invited to the cocktail parties. The legacy media, they're all trash, man. They're all full of shit. All of them. Stop watching anybody on television. Stop. I used to watch Glenn Beck. He used to always say, "Do your own homework." That's all you gotta do. Stay. Don't ask an Amazon device on who you should vote for. If you're doing that, you're retarded anyway. You don't need to be voting.
Yeah.
That's where I stand on most of it. So.
Mr. Self-Destruct says accelerationism and hypernormalization, Dekar, in response to what Dekar is saying in the chat there. The Church of Cecil's Kindness, also known as Cock, says, our Lord Cecil the Pious, well, I don't know about that, Lord of all lovers, King of kings, I don't like reading this, he who shines, the All-Father, shines his divine light on you, brave warriors of Comicsgate. Go forth and spread your dead all over. Good God. And not Cecil. This is get behind me, Satan. Flatey1 says, not to change the subject, but anybody have any comics to pimp? Got Mythicals 1 and 2, and pretty sure I back 3. You're pretty sure? What do you mean you're pretty? Like, go look.
You better go look.
Go, like, now. Do it now. Just looking for some more good reads. I have some comic news. If you
can go back the Embrace. Number 2. It's getting ready to end on Indiegogo.
Let me bring that up. The Embrace.
Part 2.
I've not heard of this.
He's a good friend of mine. He lives well, not anywhere close, but he lives up in Virginia. But he I'll pitch it for him. It's kind of like the Crow and Spider-Man. Like, I don't want to give it away. Like, it's this guy, his son passes away and he comes back as like a ghost, but he's like wrapped up in this like an embrace, it's like a costume that has like these little stretchy, like little, almost like Spawn's cape, but like these little tendrils and stuff. And so he goes to find the people who killed his son. So it's
you said it was Indiegogo, right?
Yeah, it should be on Indiegogo now. Like The Embrace 2. I'll see if I can find it.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
Have you guys seen the new?
He might be shadow banned.
It looks like it because I've typed in several different things trying to find.
I'll find it.
In the meantime, though, let me bring up your campaign. Mr. Self-Destruct says Spawn's cape is so badass. Spawn's cape is old news, dog. We should be talking about the absolute Batman's cape. How about that? Direct ripoff.
That's what I was about to say. That I was about to bring it up.
Just in case you guys didn't think Batman could get any lamer.
That logo's terrible.
I'm kidding.
I don't like to trash people's art, man, but it's not good.
Dude, that logo, come on. It's hideous. I think it's like objectively hideous.
It's not.
It doesn't look like a Batman logo.
Yeah, no, I think they're intentionally trying to destroy Batman. They tried doing it a couple years ago when they implied that he was gay. But then even they realized that they couldn't go that far because they would lose all Batman readers.
And they've already
okay.
Oh, well then, dang it, brother. I don't know what to tell you. You done backed it all. Let me see who's got a campaign now.
Well, let me show Embrace 2 here real quick. It looks
Yeah.
pretty cool. I'm gonna show the trailer.
Yeah. Mike's a good dude.
Oh, I love that quote. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's a sick costume, dude.
Yo, this is pretty nice.
Yeah.
You guys never heard of this? Yeah, Mike's a
No.
great dude, man.
Dude, this is awesome.
I have not seen this.
Yeah.
You see, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and he's one of those creators.
Great
man.
title.
We're just all about the comics. Yeah, he stays out of drama. He's got his views, but he doesn't put it out on Twitter. Smart on him. I can't help myself sometimes. But yeah, Dean James, he does the interiors. He's great. He did a bookmark for me on my first campaign. I'm excited for it. I mean, I was a day one backer on this. And he's done so much stuff. He did this one book just recently. I also suggest that. It's called Judex. You can probably find it on Global Comics with Global Frequency Studios. And I'm on Global Comics as well. I'm starting to get a little bit of traction on there. Like I got 3 people favoriting me now. But he knows what he's doing.
I love this costume. So I just want to say, it takes a lot, especially in the capes side of things, for me to be like super impressed with, because it's
right.
hard to make something new and original.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
Without and obviously I can see the influence of like Spawn,
and Spider-Man too. Like
Spider-Man,
he even does. He's got like some poses where it's like Spider-Man, but
it's this looks great.
I mean, not to take anything away from Dean, but Mike's a great writer. Like Judex, I can't remember. It's like the Shadow. That's a character who inspired the Shadow. And so that's just like a black and white book. I got that. That's fantastic. But I mean, just some of the work and some of the stuff that he's working on, I can't even talk about. Like Elysian Fields, he's doing like a remaster of that. It's like all these mythological heroes got to fight it out in the underworld, and like this kind of like this battle. It's like a tournament. It's pretty cool.
We've got the Rainey Strakowski cover here.
Yeah, Rainey is great people.
I thought I recognized that, and then now getting a closer look at it. Yeah. Well, 2 things about this cover that I think is pretty cool. You can see they both have like the hands coming out from the suit there. So I'm assuming there's some kind of connection between these 2 characters. That's already cool. And while Rainey is a damned to hell dungeoneer, that's okay. She's still a good artist. So
it's
actually, she's actually a really
good people.
You see Rainey?
Yeah.
But she says Rainey. Some people say Rainey, don't they?
No.
People have said Rainey. I mean,
it's all in your head, bro.
Rainey.
What wait, have I just reached into the alternate universe and where she's called Rainey and not Rainey? I could swear that people have called her Rainey for years now. No?
Mm-mm.
No.
Well, I guess that's me making a fool of myself for today. All right.
Well, what's the name of this creator who made this?
Michael Oden, Oden.
Yeah, this needs a lot more attention, man. This looks really impressive.
Sure. I think I'm gonna add this to
back this.
The updated
All right, back mine too. And you're gonna back his.
Well, I already said I'm gonna get yours too.
Nice.
All 3 issues.
Yeah, Mike's a good dude. He's got a cover from a guy that once you find out who it is, you're like, damn, dude, somebody in the Indies is leveling up. Like the guy's worked on professional, like mainstream books a lot. He's a sought after cover artist. That's all I can say. So.
Speaking of sought after cover artists,
you're welcome, Mike.
Frequently, Real quick, I just want to show people this new announcement I have here. Phenomenal Tales #1, Minotaur. This is I have so obviously Phenomenon is the main series. And that actually reminds me of a question I wanted to ask you, Hojo. So that's the main series, but I want to get cracking on books and have this is Peter Gilmore here. Peter Gilmore, the amazing.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, I bet you have. This is cool too because he sent me like I had him do a hard copy, like an actual and he took the picture of it and he's like, here you go, and then he sent it on down in the mail, so it's coming from Great Britain right now.
Yeah,
but then he like went back to it to color it, and he was like, I want to change this up a bit, and he did like, this is like maybe
he doesn't like anybody coloring his stuff. They tell you that.
I've noticed that he's the only one who covers his stuff. But he's a good colorist too, he's got that, especially I guess I feel like for my books, everything he's done for me, he's done at least 3 different things for me. He always just nails the colors, and the colors in my mind are the thing that I
I like that they're in the middle, like that energy that I like that.
So I'm really excited to be launching this. I've got a different artist on it, Claudio Sepulveda. He's going to be he's doing a great job for me, and he's fucking fast.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it. Coloring, we're going to see what's going to happen. I think at the moment I'm going to color it, but
all right, okay.
I kind of want to get more involved in hands-on. I already do, like you were talking, I already do the layouts and everything. I'm very, very like autistic about what I send people for my pages. And
well, artists at the end of the day, like most of the ones I've worked with anyway, or all of them, they like direction. They like to be told sometimes, just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And that way I don't have to keep coming back and you'd be like, oh, that's not how I see it. That's not how I see it. Like, tell me what you want, and then we can work from there. Like,
I just always feel like if you made something for me, and then I was like, I don't like this, go back and try something else, I feel like you should still get paid for having done some work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want those multiple comebacks. I just want it to be, okay, you did the thing that I asked. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Artists like to get paid. Who knew?
Yeah. Shocker. All right. I think we're going to close down pretty soon here. But before we do, I would like to yet again share the Mythicals 1 through 3 here on Fundmycomic, the best funding website for comic books in existence. Let's show the trailer one more time.
The hit indie horror comic returns this August.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe I got like Dan Kemp to color that cat cover. I used to color Capullo Spawn back in the day.
Yeah, dude, it's nice.
Jimmy
Although
Ray
I gotta be honest, this is the one that I want.
Yeah,
this one's sick.
We're gonna fix the colors on that one too. I want to.
What do you mean?
I kind of want to, like, in the middle where the light source is, I kind of want to make the back a little bit darker. It's kind of hard to explain with my hands.
Like back here, you're saying?
Yeah. Because you got that spotlight coming up from top.
Yeah.
I make like that to where he's like coming out of the dark.
I gotcha. Yeah, dude, it's very, very sick. This is, and I'm not just saying
it's a pro level book. Like, when I look at him, like, this is
one of the best things in Comicsgate that exists. I honestly feel that way. Like,
oh, thanks, man.
Bang for your buck. The art, the storytelling, the dialogue, the originality of the idea, the speed of delivery. Mm-hmm. Like this whole thing is just, it's primo Comicsgate material, and I would highly recommend everybody pick it up. Right now we're at 1926. Great year. But we shouldn't be at 1926. We should be at like 2,500, folks. That's that's where we should be. 62 backers. That should be 100 backers minimum. I
even got original art. I got one piece left.
Yeah. Let's scroll down to that. Let's show the folks.
That's we're doing a 5K stretch goal. So that's that'll be colored. I think it's down at the bottom though, the colored version. but that
nice.
I got the original inks.
Oh, there's more page. There's more. How much are you selling here? There's pages.
No, that's it. That's it.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know
it.
why it does that.
Interesting.
So Hojo, do you
Go back
stream on a regular basis? Like, is there a show that you go on regularly?
No, not really.
No.
Just stream from time to time.
So you don't really stream like?
No, not regularly. No.
Oh, okay.
Nobody can handle that, brother. No, I mean I got a wife, and I got kids. They're like, in elementary school. So when I'm not streaming or whatever, like I'll go and kick it with people from time to time, but mostly it's just like comic focused or something like that. Or there's this particular topic that somebody has to drag me into the basement for. I'll come out. But like as far as like carrying a stream, dude, there's no way I could even run StreamYard. My props to all of you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is, yeah. When you have all these other things you need to do, and like I know the amount of work you're putting into each page that you're sending off to people. It's like where, and then they're like, oh hey, come up with fun content to stream over and talk about.
I know.
I'd rather just talk to you guys, you artists and writers, and the other people in Comicsgate who are making books. I'd rather just talk to you guys and just hear, what.
And I do like the comic discussions. I miss that. I see it a lot. I used to see it a lot, like people talking about. And John's Lawn Box, he does that. Like you talk about certain comic runs that you liked, and just talk about what you do love. And I know it doesn't help the algorithm, so it is what it is.
Yeah, we all got to do what we can do, and that's really all it comes down to.
I mean, but I'm not like shy on camera. I don't give a shit. Like but for real, like if I didn't have to show comics and stuff, and I didn't have to. I'd be behind an avatar just drinking beer, just talking my ass off, and then have to worry about if I'm looking here, looking there, doing this and all that stuff. And like, because I was on Ethan's channel and I'd been up for like 26 hours, just got back from vacation, got the link. I was like, oh, well, shit, I got to go down there. And I was like, so I was looking at the chat. Somebody's like, is he okay? I was just like, dude, I was so tired. And like the guy who was on, I don't know what he was talking about, but it's just going on and on. I was like, thanks, Ethan. I went to sleep like immediately after that. I slept on my couch downstairs. So, but I mean, that's the life, dude. It's like I wouldn't trade it for anything else. Like, it's fun.
Yeah, and there's good people you get to meet and fun
Oh,
conversations.
I've met some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life, and I'm just like, where were you my entire life? Why did I have to have all these dickhead friends?
Right.
All these moochers and losers.
You had friends? Oh, that's awesome.
I know. I had 4. Now it's just down to 1.
Wow.
They all fall off.
They do. COVID did that for me, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, to Hojo, thank you so much for coming on tonight, dude. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was a long time in the making. I felt like I asked you to come on
I'm
a year
sorry.
ago or
Like,
something.
I know, dude.
No, it was my fault too. I didn't really have a show at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't you be on my show? I didn't really have one, so
That's a good show, man. It was a fun time.
thank you. I'm glad you came on, and I really hope that you reach the highest levels of success here with Mythicals, because like I said, folks, this really is top level comic. So over on Dr. Ben's channel, he's going to be going over Cash Grab. And what's that? Go ahead, Dr. Ben. Why don't you tell people what you're going to do, not me?
You need to take back the bad things you said about Cecil.
Who, me?
Yeah, you were the only one saying bad things.
I'm not taking it back. No.
Oh, how do you hate Cecil?
Well,
I don't hate Cecil. I don't hate anybody.
very disappointing.
I've read Cash Grab. Cash Grab is very funny.
Did you get the? I got the fan book too.
I have the first cover.
Like,
Well, the same editor
the-
that edited the Pencils Down story I'm doing. So
is your
The fan art book.
I That's true. That's what I'm going to be doing, push-ups while expositing.
yeah.
What is that? What is expositing? A live
Expositing.
reading. What does that mean?
I don't know
I
that
think
he
he-
used
I think he
Expositing,
means espousing.
like
Yeah,
expository.
well, that's what it would be, right? But within this
that's
context,
already-
expositing a live reading, Mr. Self-Destruct, what's with your?
Yeah.
Are you drunk already? Oh. Anyways,
brother.
Exposition. I think he created a new word.
I think
from exposition.
Removing a
you
suppository.
couldn't say like I was expositing on the subject. You couldn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, folks, these are the questions and many others that we ask here on Comicsgate Commandos. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It's really wonderful for everybody to be here. Thank you again, Hojo. Thank you, Dr. Ben. Thank you, Carbon Heart. And we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.